All right, hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome to the Extreme Stream. Let's go ahead and set up that chat over here. I'm just going live for a little bit. I'm not going to stay here extraordinarily long, maybe 30, 40 minutes or so. But, I felt there have been quite a few comments put on my video that I posted. I don't know, I just kind of feel like I need to talk to you guys in case you guys have questions for me. The comment section isn't really a very viable avenue to discuss things. So anyway, what's up everyone? Jamie, I see you're watching. I see your comment. There you go. Party time. Hello. Hey Randy, pump it. What do I think about Qdom? Just finished watching the update video. Thank you, Alexi. Marky Mark, we bottomed. I did see your comment, Marky Mark. That's actually, believe it or not, Marky Mark, your comment was the reason I went live because I feel like a couple things should be addressed, and I would like some back and forth discussion instead of me just screaming at a 28-inch monitor. It feels a little. What's up, Johnny B? It just felt a little. I don't know. It felt a little more honest to have a little conversation. So here's kind of how I'm viewing this overall Bitcoin. I'm not going to look at too many altcoins, guys. I'm not going to be here for a horribly long time, maybe about a half an hour. I have children here. I'm in Arizona. Our schools are striking. So, take that for what it is. I got my kids here today. Okay. So, yes, I did post that video right before the breakout. Not like that was planned. You can talk to the guys in the Power Hour. We did have this plan today to get over. And I felt like doing a public video too, just because of the overall strategy. So in the Power Hour, we discussed kind of not FOMO buying down here at not FOMO buying down here at the 8,500 level. I don't know if anyone did that. No one said that they did, and then I had the same feeling here, and based off the Adam and Eve pattern, and the possibility that we did bottom, because Mark says did we miss the bottom? Well, I can't say for sure. All I can say is that there's more bullish action to this market than there has been in this 2014 market. And I've been looking at it over the past couple of days. And then I had that video a couple of days ago, kind of apologizing to you guys for leaving. And something just didn't feel quite right. And I feel a little better now. Not that I bought Bitcoin, but that I'm neutral. I really have and I did buy Bitcoin on this breakout. I posted it in my Slack chat room when I did it. And like I said, it's a defensive buy. It's a defensive buy. And what I mean by that, and I had a hard time, like, what should my thumbnail say, because I don't want to say Bitcoin buy. That's a little disingenuous to what this is, to what this purchase is, and I didn't want to say, so I thought a defensive buy was a good rationale. In a similar fashion that this was a good defensive buy back here. So what's happening here is a big volume sell-off. Keep that in mind. That is a big volume sell-off. And I've been likening the market to this area over here. I kind of think right now we're doing something like this where we came down, we bottomed, and now we're spiking up. And even if we get to the top and roll over, by buying down here, we have insurance in case it continues going. Okay, we have a little bit of insurance in case it continues up, because if this was kind of the second bottom and we did miss it, because there wasn't any buy signals down here, there's nothing volume wise that would indicate, hey, we need to get in here. Obviously there's a good pop right here, and I mentioned it in the Power Hour today that in the Power Hour on this day at this bottom here, we were like, hey, we should buy Bitcoin right here. And it bottomed right there. It had a huge little up thrust, and then it paused for the next little bit and then continued. I don't know if anyone did buy it. I don't think they did, but that would have been a great time to buy Bitcoin right there at that 7,600 level when we said to buy it. I don't know if anyone did, but great bottoming action right there. And you can see the continuation. And something else made me put this, kind of made me say this as well. Something else had me, say this here as well. Coming down here to the symmetrical type of a triangle with this large volume, if we break up from this, that shows strength. Okay, that shows strength breaking up from this. So there's 1 hour left in this 2-hour candle. And look at the volume already. This is going to be a big volume, up thrust, and more than likely it will continue into some kind of a double topping area. And like I said, even if it double tops and rolls over and you buy down here in the, the 9,000 area, it's who cares, right? Who cares? Because if it rolls over and we see the topping action again over here, like we saw over there, if we get really loose volume, really light volume on this up thrust, because there's going to be there's some history here. And I remember during this part of the market cycle, we were talking about it handling out. We were talking about a light volume breakup, but the volume looked okay. Very similar to what we're talking about here. It's a very similar looking cycle, if you will, kind of an intermediate term cycle. It's a very significant or similar intermediate term cycle. What's up, Garami? How you doing there, buddy? So yeah, that's kind of why that is. And I don't think Bitcoin could go straight up to this 12K level. If we do go up to this 12K level, again, it's going to feel good buying here than buying up here. It's going to feel much better. So there have been a couple of buy points on the way up. Like I said, I was gone during these ones in the power hour. We've been talking about it, but my public videos, gosh, it's so hard now that I'm doing the power hour every day. And I'm able to really fully explain the market, and I feel that the people understand what I'm talking about because we have that back and forth. I almost feel like I'm not presenting myself correctly by doing these videos on the public YouTube channel, especially considering the fact that we're kind of in a counter trend rally right now. The market is bearish. We're not completely out of the bear market. That's why I say I've switched to neutral. I am not a bull at this point, but I'm taking a defensive position in case we go bullish. So that's kind of, how that is. So, all right, let me get to some of the comments there. Any questions that have popped in here, I want to address those. Bass Van Dyst is asking about a Mt. Gox dump as well. I heard a little bit of a rumor that maybe they were going to dump some coins. I haven't looked into that. If you guys, I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can post a link down below. Oh, looks like you guys can't rewind either. That sucks. Okay, I guess I missed a checkbox somewhere. But you guys won't be able to rewind. That sucks. Anyway, I'm trying to see if you guys can post links. Anyway, if you guys have any links, do it without, with a space between the dot and the com or something like that. But if you have anything about the Mt. Gox dump, I saw a recent article saying that the Mt. Gox was done on an over-the-counter exchange and not in a public exchange. That was not my information that I've seen. That was just something I saw there. What's up, Chad? How you doing? Any momentum over the past 2 months is good, in your opinion? Bought at 9K, feeling good. That's very nice. Bitcoin or Ethereum Classic? That's the question, kind of paraphrasing Hamlet. I really haven't seen much in terms of Ethereum Classic. What's it doing over here on the coin market cap? Down at 17.1.9. Up a little bit. Not sure about Ethereum Classic. There may be some better altcoins, but I'm just talking about Bitcoin right now. And as you know, Bitcoin goes, so does the market. So yeah, Vlad says, like the video, guys. Please do like the video if you're enjoying it. It does help YouTube. They like the comments, so put a comment in the video as well. And this goes for any of my videos, guys. If you're like, hey, thanks, Jack. I appreciate that, buddy. Always appreciate the super chats. Never get enough of those. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ash. Let's pop up this article. Pop this up here. Nice. I see what you did there with the .com. I like it. 16,000 BTC suddenly moves from Mt. Gox wallets. Well, that's not good. And this could probably negate the buy we just did. So, and this could lead to that 3,000 bottom, 3,600 bottom. Who knows? Again, if you guys are joining me and you do hear noises, I do have kids with me today. I'm in Arizona, and our teachers are on strike today. So, and probably for the next little bit. Okay, so there's some time. I'll go ahead and read this article. According to a script monitoring the wallets associated with Mt. Gox, 16,000 Bitcoin, holy crap, and an equal number of Bitcoin Cash have been moved from the cold storage. I think they had 40,000 or something like that. So I think they still have some. Leaving the transparency of both currency blockchains, the coins can be traced to two addresses. The Bitcoin have been moved to this wallet. Meanwhile, Bitcoin Cash has been moved here. This is the first time that any coins have been moved from the cold wallets associated with Mt. Gox since February. World's largest Bitcoin exchange. I want to read through this quick, see if there's anything relevant. It's believed that instead of using an over-the-counter exchange where blah blah could have potentially received a slightly higher than market price for a block order, he instead favored standard exchanges. Okay, so it was standard exchanges. Large sellers made in such a way, of course, may have a downwards effect on price, and that is correct. Yeah, it doesn't say much else here, so that's interesting. That's interesting there. They have 146,000 more coins. Well, then I guess 14,000 can do some damage, or 16,000 can do some damage, but maybe they're just gonna liquidate it slowly over the course of the next year or two. I think that would be the way to do that. All right, so I'm gonna kind of jump around the comments. Sorry, guys. Usually a lot of comments in these live streams. Can't get to all of them, so please, I'm not ignoring anyone specifically. My price target, if you take position on BTC, so I don't really have a price target. Well, I guess I do. This double top of the 97.50 area, I guess, would be my ultimate price target. I don't have a sell order in here as of yet. I'm really looking for action and behavior more than I am specific price levels, especially at this juncture. Now, if we break up over this 9,800 level, 97.50 area, that's really gonna, I think we're headed straight up towards 12,000 probably relatively quickly, which is why I mentioned this is a defensive buy. If you're looking to get Bitcoin at a low price, which everyone is, I think this, if we continue higher, this obviously is going to look like a really good entry point. It's pretty much the only pullback we've had. But if this fails, then by having a lower entry point, number one, you're going to take a smaller loss, and number two, you're going to have some time to react. Because I don't think, now this whole thing was predicated on volume too. Keep that in mind. Any buy is predicated on volume, and this is some exceptional volume coming in right here into Bitcoin. Like, you go to the 15-minute chart, and it dwarfed everything back to this low bar over here. So there's definitely some interest down here, bottoming action, subsequent triangle action, and then it's kind of floating higher. So 9,200 has been a point of resistance. We'll see what happens up here, but if it fails from 9,200, which it could, then obviously a lower buy. I don't know if you guys have positions or don't. If you don't have positions, I probably wouldn't enter them at this point. I would wait until we break over 9,200, to be honest with you. But yeah, if it fails 9,200 and you do have positions, then we have to see if this breakout point holds here at 8,900. But going back in history, if we are going to kind of rhyme, with this prior move over here, we're not going to see a huge pullback. We're not going to see over here. We're probably not going to see any kind of huge pullbacks. But this one did pull back to a breakout point. I guess depending on where in the market cycle you think we are. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens. But like I said, a low entry point here. I know we're a little bit up now, but George sold nothing on the downtime and listened to no one on YouTube. That's all he says there, George. Well, that's what hodling's about, man. If you're a hodler, then you don't listen to anyone. You just hodl. I don't fault anyone for hodling. Don't fault anyone. Can you explain where you should start a trend line from? Why from about 12K rather than 20K? What are you talking about there? There's lots of trend lines all over the place, and they have different implications. Not quite sure I understand that. Robert asks, will I move stop losses as it goes up? If it forms a base and then breaks out, I will probably move my stop loss up, yes. But right now, my stop loss is basically at the breakout point, which is right here at the 80, probably 8,900. I may give it a little less than that. What I mentioned on my thing is that your ultimate stop loss is going to be down here at 8,600. That's going to be your ultimate stop loss, depending if you want to give it that much. Am I a Doge believer? I don't care. I don't believe in anything. Any reason that I'm using GDAX for charting? Yeah, this is where my money is. My money is in GDAX, and so that's why I'm charting GDAX. I don't find it healthy looking at other exchanges when Bitcoin, when my money's in GDAX. Again, I got some children here, ladies and gentlemen. Home today, if you guys are hearing some craziness in the background. Not going to do a lot of altcoins. That's the second question for QDM, so I will look at QDM real quick. We were looking at QDM in the power hour, and if I remember right, it was looking really good in the moment. Yeah, we were looking at it in the power hour. Let me just go to the 15-minute time frame. Ooh, that's ugly as ugh. Let me go back to the 2-hour time frame. We were looking at QDM right here above this breakout point, and looks like it's popping up. I don't like this lower volume on these 3 bars. I would like it to have a little bit of higher volume. But overall, this action in QDM is okay. It's pretty good. I do like the fact that we've had this large cup with handle coming in here. Buying in the handle, though, this is the handle right here. This is always risky. This was an early breakout point. You're still not much further out from that in the early breakout point. The only problem... Sorry, guys, I had to go close my office door. The only, well, if you like the sound, I can leave it open, but I think it'd be a little distracting. The only thing I don't like here is the low volume on this pop-up, but that's not the end of the world. Also don't like the fact that there is you know, a wide stop here at about 10% would be your stop. That's what I don't like. Is she saying buy via, buy via? Okay, I gotta answer Vlad's question. That's in the charter of Real Crypto. Leave it closed like the children, though. So via, very, very interesting here. Very interesting here. I don't like these huge spikes. If you get these big spikes, you really have to be aggressive with the sells, because you can see here that via does this time and time again. And you know, are you going to get a second spike like this? Are you not? It's so difficult. It's so difficult to see if you're going to get a second spike. Now, at this point in time, I would just let it do its thing. I would not take a position. Way too much. Way too much. Way too high, I think. You know, this is what I call a first pop. We generally don't buy the first pop. If you buy here, like earlier, obviously you're enjoying the first pop, but you don't buy after the pop has already occurred and fallen back. You subsequently wait for a base of some fashion, and that can come on a lower term time frame. You can base on a 15-minute, and you know, like right now you can see it's been falling. The volume's been coming in here, and interesting. Yeah, it needs more time. You're not going to buy it here though. And I'll do Litecoin. Let's do Litecoin. We can do Litecoin, Ethereum. And Litecoin looks like it may want to do a head and shoulders pattern here. This looks really head and shoulders like. Very well defined. Maybe this means bad things for Bitcoin. I don't know. But again, you know, by having an early defensive position, we're at least positioned in case we go up. Now again, like I said, I've kind of moved to neutral. What's going to keep me bearish in Bitcoin, if we fail this 9,800 level as we get up here, maybe give it to, you know, 9,900 something. It could try to fake us out and then roll over fairly, you know, aggressively on higher volume. Then I think, you know, we're full on in bear mode again. This is a very convincing candle to the downside. So it could just be the first chink in the armor, similar to this candle over here, this one right here, you see? And then we came down and double topped and rolled over. And then you can see here the low interest at the top. So we're going to look for, you know, volume on this upswing. We're going to see if it's increasing, decreasing, high or low, you know, relative to history. And then, you know, we're going to see what's what. But like I said, I'm neutral in Bitcoin. This has been a defensive purchase for me. And that's kind of all it is right there, guys. That's kind of all it is. In terms of buying BTC, Kenny, I mentioned a little bit ago, there's some resistance at the 9,200 level. I would almost wait. I would almost wait for the, because it's going to form a little base here. You see it's already rolling over. I would either buy it at a low area on some bottoming action or on a breakout. I wouldn't start buying it right here because it looks like it's flattening out. So I would kind of wait a little bit, to be quite frank with you. Well, little mini inverted head and shoulders here. Do you think the upside action from 69 to 78 is a manipulation, not organic? I'm just going to say this again, and anytime. So you have to view manipulation in one of two ways. You either think it's always manipulated or you don't care about the manipulation. Anything that happens in the charts, ladies and gentlemen, is a legitimate purchase. You can't manipulate GDAX charts. Okay, at least it hasn't been known yet. Oh, wait a minute. My super chat guy, I never answered his question. What a douchebag. My opinion's on Nano. Sorry, Jack. I was fully deep in Bitcoin thought. You caught me out of the blue, and I apologize for that. That's not very respectful. Did not intend that, Jack. Thoughts on Nano here. Let's take a look at Nano. On my other screen, I have my live stream thing up, and I popped over, saw the blue. I'm like, oh, crap. I forgot to answer that question. So thoughts on Nano. Let's take a longer look at Nano. Since it's ICO, we had the run down, the big pop up on good volume. That's nice accumulation. Did not follow through. Looks like the market subsequently rolled over. Nano did as well. I drew a trend line here at one point in time. At this particular point in time on Nano, doesn't look like anything actionable. It looks like you're forming a lower level lower level. There you go. I like that. You're kind of sitting in a trading range. Now I know there's not much over here, but I drew it over here, this line over here anyways. So we have this top here, and I kind of lined it up with these closes, these wicks on these bars right here. And the bottom, obviously there's a spike low. If you want to be a little more aggressive, you can go ahead and do that. Jack, you can put your line right there. So we're almost in the middle of this trading range. Oh, looks like I've already drawn this line before. Okay, cool. I'll just get rid of that one then. So this one looks like I drew it over here, subsequently went underneath it, came back above it, and respected it. So maybe this is a valid line. But we're in the middle of this channel right now, Jack. I really don't do anything in the middle of channels unless volume really dries up and the price really goes sideways, and then you start to see some curling action. Then you can maybe get involved at that point. But I really wouldn't be too excited about Nano down here unless you really plan on holding this thing for a very, very long time, because there's no expectation here of any kind of action. Sorry about that, Jack. But thank you very much for the super chat. I was over here. Is an interesting question. Yeah, I think I addressed that kind of Bitcoin buy there. Like I said, guys, not doing too many altcoins. Going to jump off here in a little bit. I'm not supposed to, you know, I got my kids at the house. I'm going to do something with them in a little bit, but I felt like I wanted to explain my Bitcoin video and purchase a little bit more. There seems to have been, well, I felt it was due. I felt it was needed. Randy, can be useful to always have the 20-day and 50-day moving averages displayed on your charts to look for a chart moving from bullish to bearish. I do have some moving averages. They're not up here right now, not for any specific reason. There's no specific reason they're not there, actually. I accidentally deleted them, deleting some other trend lines, and I just never pulled them back up. But you mentioned the 20 and 50, so it looks like you use that as some kind of an oscillator. So let's make the 20 the 50 and see kind of what that can show us. I'm assuming you're looking at if the 20 crosses the 50, then we're bullish, and then vice versa, we're bearish. So I think you've mentioned that, haven't you, Johnny, before? Something like that. We did talk a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it could be a decent indicator. This one, that's the problem with these moving average crosses like this, is they always lag. So like by the time this one crosses, we're already all the way down here at the bottom, and then it goes up on you and kind of fudge you out. No system's perfect, but I definitely see your point there, and I do generally have my moving averages up here. So, but it's usually the 10-day, it's usually not the 20-day. That's just my personal preference. Why aren't people talking about Ethereum more? Still has a lot of market share to take back. Entered the market, again, just pre-7, but chose Ethereum. Why not get an extra 20% on medium term? Yeah, so we talk a lot about Bitcoin because it rules the markets, but you're definitely going to get a good return out of a lot of altcoins, right? So Ethereum's had a nice pump back up, although volume isn't as aggressive as Bitcoin has been. Litecoin had a pop up here as well. I'm assuming Bitcoin cashed it as well. They all had that same type of triangle forming on the downside. Bitcoin Cash looks like it's not really participating as much, but it already had a huge pump. I mean, just a really, really big pump. This buy off of here is 90% from this 800 level. That's been insane with Bitcoin Cash. Do I have any targets if we roll over from 9.8? No, I don't really have any targets if we roll over from 9.8. So if we do double top and roll over, then we have this situation. I think we're going to come back, and if you guys noticed, I had in my Naked Bitcoin video, we had these trend lines right here. And I think these trend lines, it's probably going to come back into the trend line up here or down here if we do roll over from 9.8. Now, again, if we roll over before we hit this trend line, then we can anticipate more bullish action, and then this maybe we start chopping out of this area. In which case, I don't know. We'll have to see the market action. I don't like to speculate too far in advance. It muddles up what you're looking at in the chart here. But I would anticipate if we do come up here and retest and then fail again, we probably will come down here towards this trend line, scaring the crap out of people. And does that lead to the ultimate capitulation? Because keep in mind, if we do get up here and roll over, does this 2014 scenario still come into play? Now, like I said, if 2014 is still in play, I think we're here in the market cycle, coming up to a high, maybe testing that high. And this is something that is different most recently, is that up here we have the double top, we have the cup with handle like we do right here at this particular point in time. But what we didn't get is such a deep retest, and that could be due to the fact that we didn't have a spike low here. Because here we have a spike low, and then we have a run-up. And this run-up's like 60%, 63%. So a 63% run-up on Bitcoin takes us almost back to 12K. Looks like 10.7, 63% takes us up to 10.7. So maybe we go back up to 10. I mean, I don't know exactly. Maybe go to 10.7, then start to roll over. But just the fact that we don't have this low here, spiking lower than 6K, maybe could lead us to the fact that there's more bullishness current day than there is, showing in this chart. So we maybe do one more rollover, and wherever that rollover ends, maybe that's our ultimate capitulation, wherever it ends. My analysis so far still leads down to 3,600 if that is the case. If we do get that rollover, then 3,600 is still where kind of all these tops and bottoms lead me, is pretty much right into 36. So, but that's then. This is now, that's the future. We can't do anything about that. We can just do something about the right side of this chart. Oh, Jack, thank you, my friend. You don't have to do that again. I really appreciate that. What do I think of EOS? Looks like overpumped. EOS is in a massive accumulation phase. This is not a pump. This is what you see in the next leading cryptocurrency. This is Ethereum 2.0. You're going to see you're more than likely going to see EOS sitting right next to Ethereum, to be quite frank with you. Don't know when, don't know how high exactly, but and I don't, like I did that recent EOS video, and it wasn't 100% technically accurate. That wasn't the point of the video. It was just to give an introduction. But this accumulation in EOS, all of this volume in EOS that's happening, EOS was number, I think, 17 on CoinMarketCap, if I remember history. Please correct me if you're from the Power Hour. We did this analysis on the Power Hour. And now it's number 5. So through this entire bear market, EOS has been gaining market share. And that is tremendous. And that needs to be respected. It is not overpumped. It is not overhyped. It is being accumulated. And that is extraordinary strength. That's extraordinary strength. That's what's happening in EOS. So trying to run through some comments here. Going to get out of here in about 5 to 10 minutes, folks. So Dama Brother has a kind of counter technical analysis comment. Some TA people forget there actually exists something like events that influence price as well, like Mt. Gox or consensus. The only thing I will say about events, and really anything generally in crypto, everything is built into the charts. News is built into the charts. Sentiment is built into the charts. If something is going to happen, you see it in the charts. That's really all I have to say in regards to that matter. There's no definitive way to trade news. There's no definitive way to trade events. The only thing you can do is trade the price action, because no matter how good an event is or how dangerous Mt. Gox is, it all is shown in the charts in terms of sentiment. Okay? So this is the thing is Mt. Gox, this isn't going to be the exact place, but let's say Mt. Gox happened here. Okay, what about the rest of this price action? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's price action before and after events. And if an event is going to have some, what's the word I'm looking for? Darn it. Effect. If an event is going to have an effect on price, it's going to happen, and you're going to see it in the charts. So, and I think that's what anytime you get really good at technical analysis and are in the market for long enough, you start to see the pumps before the news. You start to see the pumps earlier than anything, than any news article can give you. So, yes, I do agree things have effect on price, but you can see it in the chart without even knowing about the events. And Paul says that they're really well. Due to insider trading, you can sometimes see events in the charts before they are announced. And that is correct. You definitely can. You definitely can. So, but yeah, so that's I'm going to kind of wrap it up here, give my final thoughts on Bitcoin overall. So, are we out of the bear market? No, we're not completely out of the bear market. I think that was a loud banging in my house. I don't think the bear market is completely over. Like I said, I'm neutral on the market now. This Adam and Eve thing really kind of threw me for a loop. I've been wondering what this bottom could mean generally, with kind of the lack of volume over here, and maybe this kind of gives that a little bit of clarification for me, which kind of leads me neutral. So I'm glad I did that Bitcoin Naked video yesterday, giving you kind of my unbiased opinion and reading on the markets, as well as this update today. And this live stream. I really feel good about all three of these events, kind of clearing things up, hopefully, for everyone. And Marky Mark says, can we have a bottom without capitulation? Yes, we can. But you know what? In the end, Mark, maybe this is the capitulation. If you look at the daily chart, 6K, the 6K volume was very high. It is a spike low, so maybe this was the capitulation, and we don't get the other low. Maybe that is what it is, my friend. We do what we do the best we can, and then we move on. Next trade. Um, you know, it's a business like anything else. It's imperfect. It's imperfect. So Wanchain, thank you very much there, Louis, for the super chat. Wanchain, when would you sell considering BTC future? Um, so BTC future is uncertain, and all I gotta say is that the altcoin market is really behaving very well. WAN is doing extraordinarily well. We talked about WAN in the Power Hour. Actually, we got involved, or we talked about WAN potentially breaking out down here, coming off of all this action. Just WAN is gorgeous. We even actually, I think we did we buy WAN over here, guys? I don't remember exactly. I think we did. I think we talked about buying WAN over here at least. I don't remember specifically. We've done a lot of these buys at the lows like this. So yes, Marky Mark, the one at 6K. The one at 6K, if there is capitulation there, it's at 6K. Yeah. But in terms of WAN, it's stair-stepping higher. It's doing very good things. I wouldn't be selling WAN. I would sell any altcoin on its own merit at this moment in time. And yeah, that's about it. I would sell WAN on its own merit. Look for, if you have a big upthrust candle on big volume, similar to, well, I guess it didn't quite do it over here. So a candle like this, but at a high with really high volume, you would sell it up there. After a third or fourth base, you can start, thinking about distributing. We were mentioning selling WAN after this breakout, and then consolidation is consolidating too soon. So I would definitely, it's just breaking out. Give it some time to run. Yeah, but yeah, Marky Mark, that 6K was the what up 1981? Yeah, how about that, EOS? We just looked at that a little bit ago. Um, yeah, for sure. EOS has just been gangbusters, and we talked about EOS a little bit ago. This, I honestly think EOS is gonna, with this type of chart action. I think EOS is gonna sit up there right next to Ethereum, probably right up there, 3 and 4. 3 and 4, maybe 2. I mean, who knows if Ethereum still has its issues, and if EOS, maybe EOS overtakes Ethereum, guys. Who knows? No one knows the future. But if you look at the EOS technology, and if it really works out well, hey, Channel 9009, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How you doing? Yeah, I think if EOS Tech really works well, and it's easy to, the thing about, I think, these blockchains, whoever makes the easiest blockchain to utilize is going to be the winner. But, bar none. I think if you can make a easy to use blockchain, I think you're going to win. So, but yeah, so overall, let me get to my overall thing on Bitcoin here, and then I'm going to bow out, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I'm neutral on the market. I'm not really bullish. I'm not really bearish. There's cases for both here. We've been talking a lot over the past several months about this bear market. I know some of you guys sold based on my calls. Heard yesterday someone say they sold down in the 7,000s. I don't have anything really to say about that, to be quite frank with you. Just kind of the markets do what they do, and all we can have guesses, we can have hypotheses, but in the end we just kind of have to go with the markets. It really sucks. It really sucks, but hey, to be quite frank with you, and I've thought about this as well. We're all talking about these charts down here in these $2,000. If you're looking to hodl Bitcoin, I think you understand Bitcoin's going to 30, 40, 50 grand. This 2,000 is not going to seem like a lot. It will be, it is what it is. So we'll take the market action for what it was. So this is kind of a defensive buy right here in Bitcoin, kind of coming out of this smaller pattern. If Bitcoin does go higher, this will be a long term a good place to buy. Kind of, it's a little past, but I think past 9,200. There's some resistance right here at 9,200 to see the prior high there. But yeah, so if we get the double top and roll over, we're bearish. We sell out, no harm, no foul. If we go higher, I got a kid screaming. Hold on. All right, guys. Sorry about that. But like I said, I'm generally I'm neutral right now. There's a possibility we roll over here. In fact, I think it's a high possibility. I'm not fully sold on the bullish thing. I do think we more than likely roll over at 9,800. But in case I'm wrong, and yes, as you guys have known over the past couple of months, I am wrong from time to time. But in case I'm wrong, buy here and you have a good buy point. So, all right, guys, thanks. If you enjoyed the live stream, we do this every day, and lately it's been like an hour and a half. It hasn't even been an hour. It's been about an hour and a half. Going over the charts every day, looking at the altcoins. Had some really good profits on the altcoins recently with this subsequent alt cycle that we've been in. So we've done good there. So consider joining that. It's $50 a month. It's great, man. It's a lot of fun. I think I've only had 3 people cancel on me over the past 6 weeks. So that's really good rate. So people are really enjoying the product. It's a lot of fun. Consider joining that. Otherwise, I'll try to do some more live streams. These are fun too. I like these too. I like talking with you guys. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.